Nigeria is a very fascinating country.
Fascinating is one way of putting it.
It's
It's one way of putting it.
it's because when you hear stories about the people, the government, it's hard to imagine that such a thing is true.
Well, I mean, this is an issue. This thing even causes fights between my girlfriend and I, right? Because my girlfriend is Kenyan, and she's always like, "I don't like the way you Nigerians are always talking about Nigeria like it's such a terrible place." Blah blah blah. Everywhere has challenges, but I'm like, you have no idea. Like, you really have no idea. Everywhere has like there are challenges everywhere. Yes, Nigeria is special. When Africans are complaining that their police forces are corrupt, Nigerians don't talk. Because a typical African policeman who stops you on the road, he wants to collect some money from you, that he's gonna waste your time, he's gonna let you go. The Nigerian one is liable to shoot you dead in addition to wasting your time. So the level of dysfunction in Nigeria, even by African standards, is something most of you are simply not visually familiar with. You couldn't understand. You have to be there
Can't
to
comprehend.
get it. You can't.
Is there anyone who keeps anyone in check?
I guess that's the job I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, clearly.
I guess that's the job I'm trying to do. It's certainly not the police. It's certainly not the armed forces. It's certainly not the judicial system. We saw what the appeal court did a few days ago, where they basically they gave some of the most ridiculous judgments I've ever seen in my lifetime. So, no, short answer, there really isn't. It's a country that's running on autopilot.
Wow.
And to be honest, I mean, you are Tanzanian, so like you should be aware. For example, a Nigerian passport holder trying to get to Tanzania or to Kenya, or whatever, they need a visa. Why is that? Think about it logically? Why would people from the largest economy in Africa need visas to visit other African countries? It doesn't make sense logically, but when you think about it from the point of view of these other African governments have seen the level of craziness going on in Nigeria, and they're like, hold up, we need to protect ourselves. Yeah, it's a thing. So I've spoken to public officials in Ghana who are like, they are terrified of the possibility of like the Nigerian state imploding. They are terrified of that possibility because Accra is 400 kilometers away from Lagos. It's within trekking distance, basically. It's like a 4-day trek, really. They're terrified of that possibility, of that eventuality, because they all know there's something deeply unsavory going on in the Nigerian state. Deeply, deeply unpleasant. They're all aware. So yeah, that's the reality of the place that I call home.